if intermittent fasting actually is optimal for fat loss.
I've been doing things that they told me I should never do. I've been doing things that they told me I could never do now. Never do, I could never do. I've been looking back and I'm the only one who ever knew. My dreams begin to turn out.
Hello and good morning, YouTube family. Welcome back to my channel. I'm just hanging out. Oh, you can't really see me there. That's better. Just hanging out, doing some client check-ins, filming some other informative videos for later on the YouTube channel. Been a crazy, awesome, amazing day. Not busy, just amazing. Why did I come on here? I'm hungry, so let's get some food prior to the gym. Found this new protein cereal, Special K. There's like 14 grams of protein. Can you guys see that? 14 grams of protein in this bad boy. I had it the other day and it's not too bad. It kind of reminds me of Raisin Bran a little bit, and I don't really like Raisin Bran, but I mean 14 grams of protein? Sorry, you can't go wrong. Doing it for the gains. Gains over palatability. Way more important. Hashtag protein gains. Hashtag vegetarian problems. Why can't Cinnamon Toast Crunch make a protein cereal? Seriously, if anybody knows protein cereal makers or wants to take on this project, I will fund it. I swear to God. Cinnamon Toast Crunch protein cereal. Even better yet, Fruity Pebbles protein cereal. If y'all can make that happen, I will seriously fund it and you'll be my best friend for life. Just having this pre-workout meal right now. Special K protein cereal with some Fairlife milk. We're looking at 9 grams of fat, 54 carbs, and 33 grams of protein. You want to say hi to the people? Happy physique. Hey, it's Hoot on Instagram. Go follow him. Right, Hoot? Yeah, go follow me. So I'm just waiting for Kyle to get home right now before we hit the gym. Might try to film it for you guys, we will see. But thought I'd give you a quick little mini cut update. Mini cut's going well. Before I started my mini cut, I ended my reverse diet at 2550 calories, I believe it was. Pretty sure that's what it was. We'll round up for safety reasons. Say I was eating 2600 calories. And Kyle cut my calories down to 2100, and that was 7 weeks ago. That's crazy, it's already been 7 weeks. So 2100 calories, and I am still consuming this amount of calories, still doing the same amount of cardio. If you guys don't remember, it's 10 minutes a day, 6 days a week, nothing too crazy. I'm just doing LISS cardio, low intensity, steady state cardio. So I'm just either walking on the treadmill or I'm doing the elliptical, still not doing the Stairmaster. And he hasn't made any calorie adjustments at all, which is cool. It's kind of cool to see that I am actually losing weight on consuming 2100 calories, whereas before when I dieted for my last bodybuilding show, it was after dieting the year previously, but I had to be much more aggressive where we had to cut down to, I think it was 1900 calories right off the bat in order for me to actually see the scale move. So it's great to see that I can actually consume more calories now and still lose weight. It's not as fast. I've only lost, what has it been? Only about 5 pounds, I would say. But it's awesome that I'm able to eat much more food in order to lose weight. So just to touch on that, like eventually that's going to stall, and yes, Kyle's going to have to make a calorie adjustment further down in order for me to continue my fat loss phase, because our metabolisms, they're not fixed, they're always adapting, especially when we're in a fat loss phase. Your body starts to fight you so that it stays in the same place. It wants to fight you to stay where it's at. It doesn't want to make these changes. So it's going to adapt so that my body doesn't continue to lose weight on 2100 calories. And it's at that point where we'll have to be much more aggressive and adjust our calories down. So it's a complicated process, but that's why I have a coach. I mean, I could do it myself, but emotionally, I would have cut my calories by now because I would be like, oh, the scale's not moving fast enough. Da, 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 da. I go through all that shit too, you guys. So that's why I have a coach. Kyle holds me accountable. And I think it was not last weekend, but the weekend prior to that, the scale was like not moving at all. And I was getting in my head a little bit thinking, oh my gosh, the scale's not moving. Kyle, what do we do? He's like, nothing. We're doing nothing. I know your body. I see the data. This is what we're doing. We're holding strong and you're gonna see a drop. And then the week after, the scale went down 2 pounds. So it's very easy to get in our heads, and I do it too, where I'm like, oh my God, Kyle, what do we do? And our jobs as clients, including myself, is to trust our coaches. They are being objective and they are on our side. So trust your coach. Mini rant here, but I do it too. But yeah, so overall, mini cut is going well. It is going according to plan. And I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good in the gym. I'm still pushing some really good weight, which I'll probably discuss with you all later, but I'm really happy. Things are going well. All right, well, I don't know what to do now. I'm anxiously waiting to go to the gym. Don't worry, the topic of today's video about intermittent fasting, I will discuss with you all after the gym. Right after this. Okay, talk soon. Does anybody else mismatch their socks? You guys want to see Kyle freak the fuck out? Wait till you see his reaction that my socks aren't matching. Kyle, what do you think of my socks?
I hate it. Quit fucking doing that. It drives me nuts.
Walk like I built this town. Steps so light, I barely touch the ground. Everybody wants to know how. Brick by brick, I put them in the ground. Walk like I built, walk like I built this. I do it for my people, family business, and everybody wants to know how. Take a good look, you are now witness. Wake up, it's a brand new day. I got a fresh breath and a full plate. Wake up,
I didn't get a chance to film my workout for you guys today just because the gym was pretty busy. The New Year's resolutions people are definitely holding strong, which is great to see, but the gym is very busy no matter what time I go, so apologize in advance. But as you guys did just see, I shared with you guys my squat, bench, and deadlift from this week. I hit 95 pounds on all 3 lifts. It was an awesome week. I forgot to include that in the mini cut update for you all, and I couldn't be more happy. I definitely felt very fearful to lift this much, especially for squats, just because that was the exercise that caused the back injury in the first place. But out of all 3 lifts, squats probably felt the best. My back definitely felt very fatigued after doing deadlifts and after doing bench, but it didn't feel as fatigued after doing squats. So a step in the right direction. I'm probably going to be staying at 95 pounds for all 3 lifts for quite some time, maybe 2 months, I would say, maybe 8 to 10 weeks. I don't know, I'll play it by ear, but I'm definitely going to be taking it very slow. But step in the right direction. I'm very excited, and we're getting there. Slow and steady wins the race, brick by brick, but we're getting there. All right, you all have waited long enough. Let's get into the topic of today's video, and that's if intermittent fasting, I can't say the word. That is if intermittent fasting, intermittent, I can't speak. You know, when you start saying a word too much and it starts to lose meaning, that's what's happening right now. But let's talk about if intermittent fasting actually is optimal for fat loss. And if you guys have been following me long enough, you know that the answer to this is no. It is not more optimal. Now, I do think that, I'm just going to say IT because I'm just going to be a tongue twister all night. I do think that IT is a great strategy for those who are in a fat loss phase and their calories are getting lower, where it helps you to actually create the sensation that you're having larger meals later in the day. A lot of us tend to emotionally eat in the evenings, and that's just due to the high amount of stress that we deal with during the day. So by you basically saving up your calories by fasting in the morning so you can have larger meals later in the day and in the evening, it's a good strategy for that, especially if you are an emotional eater in the evenings. For myself, when I'm dieting, not currently right now because my calories are still high enough, but when I was dieting for my bodybuilding competitions for both preps, I did utilize this strategy where I would fast probably until 11 o'clock. Most women should only go until 11 to 1, and then guys can make it from like 1 to 3. I would fast until about 11 o'clock, then I'd have my first meal, and I really enjoyed that just because it allowed me to have larger meals in the evenings, because I can be an emotional eater, especially women. We are definitely emotionally attached to food, where we do use it to cope when we're feeling stressed out. So I thought it was very helpful for me. There's no hidden elements to fasting that are going to result in more optimal fat loss than other fat loss strategies. So I think that's very important to remember, that there's nothing to suggest that if you fast that it's going to lead to more fat burning capabilities. That's not true at all. There's no research to suggest that intermittent fasting allows you to burn more fat than if you were to eat breakfast. In other situations where I think that this method of dieting is useful for people, for those who tend to work most productively in the morning, sometimes it's just nice to wake up and get to work. You know, if you eat a really big breakfast, it can make you feel sluggish and slow you down a little bit. So for those who are just most productive, they like to get up and go in the morning, I think that intermittent fasting is a great strategy to utilize for that. Now, some downfalls for intermittent fasting, I think, are for those who have serious binge eating disorders or histories of binge eating disorders. Just because you give yourself an 8-hour, I believe it's an 8-hour window to eat all of your food. So that's not a lot of time, especially if you aren't dieting and you are utilizing this strategy. So if you're eating a significant amount of food in 8 hours, it can actually be detrimental if you do have binge eating tendencies, because within an 8-hour window, you're eating so much food as quickly as possible. It creates a similar sensation that people go through when they have binged in the past. So that might not be a good idea if you do have a history with binge eating. I don't recommend for people to utilize intermittent fasting if that's the case for them. So just because I think that it might be a good strategy for some people, it's definitely not a good strategy for all people. It's important to note here that if you don't want to utilize it, you don't have to. Meal timing is not as important as everybody thinks that it is. It's most important to actually ensure that you're getting an adequate amount of calories and that you are consuming an adequate amount of macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats. How you actually consume those protein, carbs, and fats throughout the day, it doesn't matter. It really makes no difference when it comes to our body composition, when it comes to our fat loss results. Yeah, there's certain aspects where meal timing is important for performance in the gym, where you have pre and post carbs and making sure you get an adequate amount of protein, but it's not as important as everybody thinks. So I would honestly just recommend making sure that you're getting an adequate amount of calories and that you are being consistent with the amount of calories that you should be consuming based on your goals, and then just go from there. If you have a history with binge eating, if you find that you are just too emotionally attached to foods, intermittent fasting might not be a good strategy for you to implement into your program, and that's okay. Like I said, good news here. There's no actual optimal fat loss results that come from intermittent fasting. The only way to lose fat is by being in a caloric deficit. How you consume those calories that put you in a deficit, the timing of it just doesn't matter. Okay, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but hopefully I made my point and that makes sense to you also. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to clarify anything for you guys. And I think I'm gonna leave this week's episode here. That's all I have to say to you guys for this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next one.
Walk like I built this town. Steps so light, I barely touch the ground. Everybody